Right. Welcome back for the second semifinal matchup in the Grandmasters Cup of the Vega Battlegrounds Championship. You can see the bracket up there. Keep in mind, this started with 32 summoners in group stage play, only 16 advanced, and we are now down, to the final three. Legacy versus BMcG went last night. It was a phenomenal matchup. I cannot suggest more. You go to my channel, their channels, check it out. You're going to learn a lot and be entertained. We now have KarateMike versus Fintech, two absolute titans in this game of MCoC. Highly skilled, share a lot of their knowledge, and they're going to put on an absolute show for us today. Before we get started, I want to make sure we thank all the people that need thanking, and I'm probably still going to forget some folks, but we've got to start off with our Grandmaster for the week, none other than Katie Candy. The Grandmasters do put in a lot of time for this, making sure they make this as difficult as on our competitors as they possibly can. And each week it gets tougher, right? Because champions have been banned and not banned. Katie Candy, her Twitter feed is in the description. She obviously has a great channel as well. Our financial sponsor, Usafa Gaming. He himself has actually made it to the knockout stage in both of my tournaments so far. I have not seen the official ratings, but when this tournament is over, I have to believe he's going to be in the top 10 rated players in the whole championship circuit. That's really, really impressive. His channel is also linked in the description. Of course, now you're finally getting to see the trophy. You can see it there. Moose has done a phenomenal job. Makes these trophies for so many different tournaments and things involving with MCoC. His Twitter feed also linked in the description. And then last but not least, the two gentlemen putting on this show for us today, KarateMike, Fintech. Their channels are linked in the description and in the chat. Please do me a huge favor. Go support them both. Cheer them on. Subscribe to their channels. Their channels I watch so I can get better at this game. And then I am joined by one of my co-hosts for the day, TJ, Tom Jarvis, phenomenal channel. So many of you got to know him and love him from the first tournament and this one. Phenomenal player. TJ, thank you so much for joining me, my friend.
Well, thank you for having me. This should be a very interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I like using words like amazing and things like that. I don't think I was over-exaggerating when I said, these are two titans of the game. Fintech, KarateMike, right? Like, it doesn't get more high-skilled and more well-known than these two guys.
Yeah, I definitely think this could go easily to round 7.
As the host, you know I love that. I love a good 7-rounder. Yeah. I love the drama. We will, for those who are just tuning in or haven't seen one of these streams before, it's going to take a minute for me to adjust their aspect ratios. We'll do everything we can to get Mike's face cam in there. And then Finn is actually streaming this himself. I'm hoping we get to see more streams from him too. I'd love to be able to just kind of like live chat, ask him questions while he's showing us all these great skills. That'd be pretty exciting.
As well, one thing I will say is that I've played Finn quite a lot, and he's probably one of the toughest people I've ever faced.
Yeah.
But I haven't faced KarateMike ever, I don't think. So it should be interesting to see how this goes. I only know how good Mike is from watching his gameplay.
Yeah.
I do know how good Finn is from experience.
I would think, again, I don't play at the tier you guys all play at, right? That's fine. But I've watched a lot of these. I've commentated on a lot of them. I try to learn from them. One of the things I kind of feel like I've noticed that all of you in this tier do is it's not the same champions over and over. There are these kind of like unique champions or different ways of attacking it or setting up your defense. Does that sound kind of accurate? Like it feels like you're actively trying to also trap your opponent with your defender or your deck or your draft. Is that sounding right?
Especially in this meta, it's become way more apparent for this one. Because the node's so demanding that if your opponent doesn't draft the right counters, then it's near enough game over.
Yeah, and that's something that I know when this meta first came out, and for those who are unfamiliar, the meta that we use for these, because these have to be friendly matchups for our tournament, and they're getting started here in just a minute, is we use, I believe it's called the victory track meta, and that's the node set. That was very punishing. One of the messages I tried to get out early was, look, it's brutal, but it's also brutal on your opponent. Don't give up, keep going, keep playing. And we'll see that. And I feel safe saying it because it happens every round, no matter how good these guys are. Someone's going to win a matchup with less than 50% health, so take that into your own gameplay. All right, it looks like they're getting started. I am going to pause Mike's stream to get him lined up.
So Finn's stream it's either not up or the bracket is in the way.
Yeah. I thank you. Okay. Yep. All right, so we're going to pause Mike's stream just to kind of try to time these up for you here.
As well, with this meta, literally anything could happen. I've had a round in a tournament. It was in Ghost Dog's tournament. I was playing Forgotten, and I think I had a round where I won with 5,000 points.
Yeah.
Literally, it can go either way.
All right, and I believe we are joined, speaking of incredibly intelligent players with awesome channels that I enjoy watching to get better at this game, I believe we've now been joined by Campo MC. How you doing, my friend?
Hey there, friends. How's it going? Thought I'd come in on the action if there's room for another co-host here.
Oh, there absolutely is. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure. Looking forward to it.
So what are you guys seeing? What are you guys seeing on the bans here? Are they telling you anything? I mean, obviously we can see it's Archangel, Crossbones, Thor. Thor surprises me, to be honest. But
Thor does not surprise me at all.
Really? Okay, so High Sig.
He has. Oh, sorry.
No,
he
go
has
for it.
That easy access to armor break.
Okay.
That he can counter annoying champs. Like, say, if he were to place Howard the Duck on defense, there aren't many champs that can get rid of 5 armors at the very start without landing a hit. And Thor's one of them. And also, he does hit like a train, so I can see that ban. The other two from Finn as well, I do like. Archangel and Crossbones. Crossbones is one of the best defenders one of the best attackers against non-mystics because MD isn't in play. And the ability accuracy reduction is really strong. And Archangel is just Archangel.
Before we actually get in a little farther as they're doing their drafts here, there's so many people in the chat. I'm not going to be able to keep up with all of it, but there's some folks I definitely want to say hi to. I see moderators and channel members. What's up, Yusafa, the man himself? Thank you so much for being here. OG Highline, Zach Richards, Tom Jarvis. I know I'm talking to you, but you're still here. What's up, Snoops? And so many other people. Josh, how you all doing? Thank you so much for being here. Laser. All right, let's get back to this. Whose draft are you liking more so far?
At the moment, I like KarateMike's just because he has Gallon. Gallon's such a game changer for this meta, even though Finn does have 5 Mystic champs. One thing I will say as well is that I don't like KarateMike's ban on Killmonger. I'm not just saying that because of obvious reasons. I'm mainly saying that because armor break is the main way to get around this node. It's between armor break and nullify. And if you have a lot of armor break champs in your deck, obviously to try and counter the node, then Killmonger isn't really going to be as problematic as he would normally be.
Mm-hmm.
So it's either that Mike doesn't have a lot of those, or he didn't really think about that. It'll be interesting to see.
I'm interested to see how it plays out. In Mike's last match, I think it was against Nick136. Mike was who's amazing, right? Phenomenal player.
Yeah.
Mike was, I really appreciated his forthrightness and the way he approached it on the post-game match. He said, he's like, I have a roster advantage and I wanted to use that, to help me out. So I'm wondering if he's going up, because I don't know Finn's roster as well, but I feel like Mike might have a similar one here.
I wouldn't say it's similar. I'd say Mike still has the roster advantage because, one, he's allowed to use his rank 5 and Finn isn't, because Tigra is automatically banned this week. And secondly, I think Mike overall has more rank 4s, because I know Finn doesn't spend that much on this game. And like every time I've faced him, he's definitely had less rank 4s than I've had.
So with Spidey here, I think the way he gets around the node is to get a Wither up and then just do all the damage through block. But that is going to take a while, even with a rank 5. And Juggernaut is going pretty quick up there, and I don't believe he's taken any power burn damage yet because the staggers have been taking care of the armor. He's been right on top of that. So even though we've got a perfect counter to Sasquatch here, we've got the exhaustion, which is turning off his wrath stacks, and we've got all damage through block, which means hit me, I dare you won't trigger. It may not be fast enough, even though he's probably going to finish with 100% health or close to it.
Yeah, Finn's almost done with this already. I think at the moment, with how things are going right now, Mike could definitely win this one purely off of health. And I think that's going to happen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, is that
Mike won purely because Finn lost too much health.
If you guys could both explain, I'm a bit of a Juggernaut novice. Is that due to the counter punch? Like, did Finn make a mistake, or is that just he's using the counter punch and therefore he's taking a little damage in these hits to the block and things like that?
He didn't take that much damage off of block alone. I think he may have taken 1 or 2 hits from the power burn. I couldn't tell exactly because the screen's quite small for me. I'm looking at the whole stream, or both streams combined, and the chat.
Okay.
So
yeah, same
I
here.
couldn't see exactly whether the armor was still up, but based off how much health he actually lost, I think that was the case.
I was adjusting the aspect ratio for Finn so we could get in a little bit more. Finn got hit. Thank you, Prakar. I appreciate you saying. He got hit by an SB2. Actually, he got clipped to let Towns let us know. Okay, so that explains it. I have to say that was still felt very fast to get down to Sasquatch. I don't know if that was a rank 3 or rank 4 Sasquatch, but that's a lot of damage. That looked like a rank 3 Juggernaut to me.
Mike's is a rank 3 Sasquatch.
Okay, and I
can tell from the PI.
I got the scores actually backwards there. I hope again, now that we've got the aspect ratio set up, that stuff like that should stop happening. So let's see.
I don't like to admit it, but I had to squint to see whether the PI was high enough to be rank 4.
So this is interesting. We got 2 pretty slow fights here potentially, because even though we get all these nice armor breaks, they don't have any effect on Rintra, obviously, on the bottom screen, though they will remove the armor itself.
Yeah, I definitely... To be fair, I think I favour the Howard versus Rintra matchup, just because I hate Korg. I hate Korg with a passion, and at the moment it looks like Finn's kind of struggling to start dealing damage.
Yeah.
Especially since the armor ups are still there.
It feels like a lot.
He's got 4 armor ups right now. He's not really... Unless he crits, he's not going to be hitting hard.
I wonder if he
made has to rely on a small poison for damage.
I wonder if he made a mistake there, because it looked like he had an... Oh, no, he was just setting this up now instead. He needed that to do more. I think he needed that to do more. That SB2... I think he's probably relying on Rintra to cause some problems down there, which Rintra can.
He can, but with Howard, if you do what Mike did and focused at the very start on just building up Furies while you don't have the neutralize, and then start building armor, then you'll still be hitting hard enough to actually make a good dent.
You know, for those who, and this is why I like to show the face cam, and I like it when folks do it, is you can see it, Mike Stevens shifted his body, and I think he's holding his phone a little differently. The one thing I've noticed he does in this tournament that I don't think anyone else did is he does not rely on the pre-fight, the auto mash for his Howard the Duck play, and you saw how many Furies he was able to get there.
Okay, that was close. Finn really pulled that back at the end, and the regen on King Groot topped him up because he took a lot more damage than that.
Wow, well played.
That was very well played.
I'll be honest.
On both sides.
Yeah, I had stopped watching that because I just thought it was going to go way too slow. That result absolutely shocked me.
Yeah, I don't think Finn would. Sorry, I can't get my words out. I don't think Finn would have expected Mike to do that much damage on Rintra either.
No.
But I do still favour Mike overall because of this Nimrod.
Yeah, Tobias, I didn't see that coming.
Wait, hold on.
What's up?
Why did Mike not use Gallon there?
The staggers from SimSup can cause issues. I've actually I've played Symbiote Supreme and won against Gallons more than once. There might be a way around it, and maybe you can tell us what it is.
I have seen B do that very well. I think he scored about 54,000 points one time.
Okay.
With Gallon versus Sim Supreme. I can't remember who it was against. I think it was in the qualifying round. I know it was a different node, but the same style of gameplay still is the same pretty much.
Yeah, I've done it. I've seen it go sideways. So I'm thinking Mike just went super safe, feels confident in his Nimrod.
Yeah.
If
it was me, I would have full confidence in my Nimrod to do.
Yeah.
Or to cause problems, even with Mojo. I know Mojo can do it, but it is going to be slow.
Yeah.
You basically can't do anything right off the top, right? Because you don't have your field, so you can't reduce the armors until you get going.
Yeah, you pretty much have to try and maintain 100% on the live field. But with Sim Supreme as a defender, that's probably, or with Nimrod as a defender, you're going to definitely take some power burn damage. Whereas with Sim versus Doom, you can kind of take your time and not take that damage.
And it was still like a 52. He scored like 52. So even though it was a little slower than Gallon, that's definitely a winning score when Nimrod's on defense, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
Mike's interested to see if these guys go with the same bands again.
Yeah, I'm curious to see that. Mike's got to reset his game, which he does. It's just, just something he does with his phone and whatnot. I think that's a smart move. I want to get back to a question I saw people answering it, so I appreciate it. It looks like Yusafa got to it and Lee did as well. But yeah, in essence, the advantage to not having the auto mash is you can get more of the buffs that Howard the Duck would get from the auto mash. Personally, though, I find it very, very difficult. And I also found that in these Battlegrounds matchups, particularly like against a Domino where I'm wanting to use Howard the Duck, it just messes up my gameplay so much that I've just decided I'm going to let the game do it for me. But Mike is Mike, and he can get all those buffs going, and you can see it doesn't hurt his gameplay in the slightest.
Yeah. I'm split on it. I'm 50-50. Sometimes I like doing it, sometimes I don't. It depends on the matchup.
I usually like to hit it, and then sometimes I forget, so I get the benefit of not having it on, but it's because I forgot.
All right, so here, if you guys don't mind, kind of give your analysis of the bands here. They went to them very quickly. I feel like they're sticking with who they originally banned.
Well, Miguel is a new one.
Oh, yeah.
So he's Miguel's scared of that rank 5. That was impressive. And he's a champion where the rank 5 made the difference in that fight for sure, because it was so close that the extra stats is why he won that single round.
Yeah. He left OG Thor open as well, which could be interesting. So Mike goes with the same bands. Again, the Killmonger one kind of confuses me, so if I am still here by the time this ends, I definitely need to ask him on that. Yeah. Especially since it's a rank 3 low sig Killmonger. Like, with any generic armor break champ, that shouldn't be a difficult matchup. I definitely think, especially with Finn's roster, there are champs that are more worth banning, but that's just my 2 cents on that.
I guess one reason might be, like, let's say Domino and Killmonger end up on defense and you only draft Howard, and you don't have any other armor break champions. And like Thor, for example, is banned, who's one of the best armor break champions. What do you do in a scenario like that? He may just be trying to thin out one defender, but I do 100% get what you're saying, that the meta itself is countering armors. So you're going to have armor break champs, but it could just be a...
I'll need to have a look at Mike's actual deck on Finn's screen after this match. I didn't quite get it this one, but if he does have a decent amount of armor break champs, then I'm quite confused by that ban. Looking at these drafts, I think this time I'd definitely favour. Oh yeah, after that pick, I'd definitely favour Finn, because Mike could have picked Killmonger there, not Killmonger. See, he's on my mind too much. I can't get away from him.
Yeah,
if Mike could have picked Nimrod there, I think he would have had the advantage.
For those who don't know, TJ may have a lot of really good reasons to be very excited about Killmonger. I'd go with 5 of them. You should check out his channel to understand what we're saying there.
Yeah, I uploaded a video earlier as well, about an hour ago, that is basically, people call him a noodle all the time. People say, oh, he doesn't have the damage. Go watch that video. It's only 15 seconds long. I see Dot seeing it. Hey Dot, how you doing? Okay, this matchup, I definitely favour Mike in this one.
Sorry, I was distracted there for a minute. In fact, do you guys cover just cover this as if I'm not here for a few minutes?
Absolutely, okay. Yeah, I think if we get good enough RNG with the, I mean, Mike's going to play this correctly and get out of the way when the aura's up.
Yeah.
Going for this special one for the corruption there. Yeah,
and he could easily nuke this down very fast. If he just keeps corruption up, he should be fine. And then when he gets to 30% as well, Mephisto won't actually regen. He'll just have the indestructible up for a little bit. Because Mephisto's regen actually counts towards Null's sig ability.
Oh, that's interesting. Good to know.
Yeah, so you can see here, every time he gets a regen from his ability to consume his persistent charges, instead of actually getting the regen, you could see the degen debuffs.
The incinerate damage is adding up, unfortunately, and he's not in corruption, and he hasn't been for a while, so the damage has definitely gone down to the point where Finn's deciding, am I going to throw another special 3 here, I guess.
Oh, this could be bad, because Sasquatch literally just entered Wrath as...
Oh, so he won't be stunned.
Special 3. So he won't be stunned, and Sasquatch is at a special 3. Okay, Alberto, I can see that. Oh, Finn took some hits and special 3. Okay.
Yeah, that was a pretty unfortunate timing. Yeah. Now, Doom doesn't take too much damage because his armor is so high, though.
I still think with the time difference, with the time difference, I think this could still go to... Yeah, it went to Mike.
Yeah, and by a good 2,000 plus points, so yeah, that's... Yeah. That's unfortunate for Finn.
So, yeah, as Slay just said in the chat, I think if Finn special 2's there and just goes straight for the kill, then I think he takes that round.
Yeah, but that would have done it.
Yeah. This is an interesting one now, because Finn has Gallon and... Oh, wait, no. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong side. Mike does have 3 Mystic Defenders. And Finn does have Torch. I think what Finn was trying to do here, which actually worked, was try and bait Howard the Duck from Mike. So that if this does go to round 3, he can use Gallon here, potentially nuke this down faster than Howard can nuke this Warlock down, and then Finn has Domino for round 3. That's exactly what Alberto was saying. He was saying, watch Finn bait Howard the Duck with Domino and play Snark Chat for round 3. That's basically what he's done, but in reverse.
In reverse, yeah.
Yeah.
And now MCoC doesn't have any resistance aside from just being a Mystic, which means you ramp slower. Because I believe for Gallon, the direct damage of the Harvest is straight direct damage. It's not like energy or physical. So he should, if he can just throw the special and get, interesting AI there.
I mean, he's still got all the charges.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so now we're gonna...
Oh, no.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Yep, that didn't go to plan. If Finn had thrown his heavy there, entered Harvest, and then thrown a special one, that would have been it.
Yeah, that was interesting when he didn't intercept the special. That wasn't really on Finn. That looked like a strange AI thing.
Yeah. I think he was... I think what he was doing was trying not to enter Harvest there, because he may have thought that the Unstoppable and everything else would be consumed. But this is going... Yeah, this is going horrible for Finn. Yeah, this might actually kill him. So, if he could have taken this down, I think that Finn definitely had round 3. But you've actually got to get there first.
Yeah, I think it was the right play. And this is just what happens sometimes.
It was definitely the right play. It was 100% the right play, but it just didn't pan out how he was hoping. And that's the third special 3. Wow.
Yeah, MCoC is angry.
You know what? This MCoC is nearly as annoying as B McGee's Mordo. And I can see being a check.
Yeah, and Mordo was perma-banned last night, if you didn't see.
Oh yeah, I from now.
But Man-Thing was
Man-Thing
was perma unbanned, and he ended up in just about every round, which was awesome. There was a lot of Man-Thing. Yeah.
That fight or that matchup was a little bit too late for me, so I couldn't tune in. I checked this morning and had to watch it back.
Yeah, it was a great.
Yeah, it was a great one. I think it's well. Selfishly, I think it's well worth watching. Finn, I've gotten to know Finn a little bit because of these tournaments, and he makes them so far in them that he and I end up communicating a lot. I've really grown to like the young man. He's a great guy and very easy to work with. I appreciate that with him, and I think he's always open to teaching, which I enjoy. One of the things, thanks for taking care of everything, guys. I did get the score right, correct? Mike won that 2-0. Yeah. And then one thing I wanted to ask you was, I did look up at the screen, and I was shocked to see Doom handling that Sasquatch so well. Obviously, it went sideways there at the end. Did you guys say that is only a rank 3 Sassy, though? It's not a rank 4?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. 3. Okay, so that makes it make a little bit more sense. I assume Finn's Doom is a rank 4, so though. Okay, all right. That's I'm now making sense a little bit more. And yeah, Mystic Dispersion. I can't say for certain everybody, but I think everyone in this tournament is probably running 5 out of 5. I would think. So that's what you're seeing.
I'd assume so. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just such a powerful mastery.
So Finn's changed his bans again. He banned Howard the Duck this time instead of Archangel. I can kind of understand why Mike banned Killmonger now, because his armor break champs were Howard, Thor, and then he had champs like Archangel and Crossbones, and potentially Gallon to counter outside of that. So I can fully understand why he's banned him now.
That really,
if I'm still there, I'll ask him anyway.
It really feels to me like that's something that Nerd and I did a stream, and I actually did a private coaching session with Nerd too, and that was something he was kind of talking to me about. Is that is a strategy, not necessarily banning Killmonger per se, but more look at where your deck is potentially weak, and then that's where you're going to make your bans. It's not always like the best champion or the most powerful one. It's how are you going to utilize your deck and then your ban strategy together. So. I think that makes a lot of sense, and I appreciate you talking that through with everybody here. It's I think helpful to everyone. I know it's helpful to me.
Yeah, 100%. Because when I was building my deck for this meta, believe it or not, I didn't actually put Killmonger in when he was at rank 4. So the main thought behind that was because of how dominant Armor Break is. So I thought a lot more people would be running Armor Break champs. And because of that, I didn't think he was worth running as a defender. Plus, he'd have pretty much no use on attack because he doesn't have any form of nullify or armor up. So I just didn't bother putting him in. And then now that I've noticed that the main thing people are doing is going for nullify, I think it probably would have been a much better idea to actually keep him in.
It definitely seems like there's more armor break immune champions out there than there are nullify immune champions, generally speaking.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So yeah, that's why the Mystics are so good.
As well, the nullify immune champs are. This is one thing I talked with Jay Will. I think the nullify immune champs aren't necessarily difficult to fight with armor break champs.
Mm-hmm.
Yet all the armor break champs are mainly cosmic. So if you have a mystic heavy deck, then you probably won't have the problem of cosmics being the dominant attackers, and you'll have to use mystic champs to counter the other mystic champs. And most of those, like for example, Doom versus Sasquatch, that can be a pretty bad matchup.
All right, let's take a look at this one here. So I'm assuming Finn's going to know how to handle this Gallon versus Korg. I wouldn't know how to do it, but it's Fintech, so I think he's going to probably get that down. Do you guys kind of agree with that?
Yeah, it looks like he took one medium of thorns, throwing a heavy right away, and then that's it.
I mean,
so he
did this to me in 26 seconds. Okay. So
yeah,
I'm fully expecting that to be near enough the same.
Now, do you think this was a bit of a throw on Mike's part, and not that he wants to lose, but a strategic? I'm going to use an unperfect option and try to win 2 and 3.
Oh yeah, this is a horrible matchup.
Okay, that's what I felt like I was.
I think the main thing he was doing was trying to bait Gallon without Finn knowing who Mike's going to use. That's using who's placing first to an advantage.
Yeah,
because he knows that Finn placed first, which means that Finn has to choose his attacker first. Since Korg is a better matchup for Gallon than Sasquatch is, he knew he had no chance at winning this when Finn has Gallon as an attacker. So he must have thrown this round, just used the most or the least useful champ for the rest of the champs that Finn has.
Yeah, and looking at it, Null doesn't really feel good against any of those remaining defenders. So I think this is the right throw. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the one he's best for is Mojo, but Mike has Magneto for that. And then also, it as Bees just said in chat, Mike still has his own Gallon.
Well, let's see if the strategy pays off. I think it's a smart strategy. It's just always difficult to win 2 in a row, in essence. And that's what he's now left with.
Yeah, so what I would have said is Mike basically played his cards perfectly there. And that's pretty much the most important thing about Battlegrounds in general. If you have a bad draft, in most metas, if you have a bad draft, you can come back from it if you play your cards absolutely perfectly. But when it comes to this meta, it's a lot more difficult to do that. And I think Mike did a really good job of that right there. Like, knowing that he's going to lose the round, regardless of who he uses. So he saved his best options for rounds that he has a much better chance at winning. As well here, I'd say that Finn has a pretty bad matchup. And I'm not the biggest fan of Mike's matchup either. I've seen this go either way.
Yeah, I think he's trusting his Mephisto. I say this a lot. A lot of viewers will know. I don't love this, but I understand why it keeps being used. This being Gallon versus Domino. I think it's just about knowing that she may fail something. She may fail your harvest. She may fail things, and you're probably going to take some damage because of it. So you just got to have a lot of faith in your defender to stall, to do annoying things as well, and Gallon will get it down. So let's see if that pans out for Michael here.
Yeah. I think as well, Finn's trying to bait Gallon out because there's next to no chance that Gallon can do the other defenders. So he pretty much has to use him here. Yeah, so if you've got Rintra and Mojo on defense for the last round, Gallon isn't really going to be good for those. And also, Mike's options were Hulkling, Magneto, and Domino. So if Finn places Rintra here, which, knowing Finn, is what he's going to do, then Mike is probably going to place Domino, and then against Rintra, there's not really going to be an option. But Finn does also have options for anyone apart from Domino. So it could go either way here.
It's Finn.
McG is saying if he played Rintra in this last round, he may have been able to seal the deal because Hulkling was able to finish Mephisto as well. That's an interesting point.
Yeah, not even that. It's that even now, if Finn places Rintra, I think it's over. Yeah, Mike places Domino, places Rintra. Exactly what I thought had happened.
Did somehow Finn's stream end up way ahead?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how that happened.
I don't know how that happened either.
It did happen.
I did notice a jump in his gameplay. So it makes sense. This is really big, guys. The skill level is enough where I think someone could win 3 or 4 in a row. Finn really doesn't want to go down 3 out of Mike here.
Yeah, regardless of what happens, I don't think either of them get the kill here.
Mm-hmm.
I think these both go to timeout, and it's whoever has the most health wins it.
And that's tough when you're going against a Domino who's going to be crit failing things. You know you're going to take damage. Now, Mojo does have a heal, but it's based on percentage of health he doesn't have, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. But
nice job parrying. I noticed that he was unlucky, and he remembered to parry there as opposed to Dex. He's going to have to do the same right here. All right, we're ramped up.
And the Fury as well, which is pretty big.
I mean, Finn's playing this well, but he's just taking so much damage from the crit. I mean, you can see it constantly, this crit fail damage.
Yeah.
However, the way...
This actually... You know how I said that I don't think either of these will get it down? I forgot that Mojo is absolutely absurd and nobody realizes it. So this is actually going to kill him right here. Yep.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, obviously Defender health remaining is the main stat. So KOing the opponent, even though Magneto's going to have a bunch of health, things are going to have to start happening fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think he has any firepower. Yeah.
But I originally thought that Domino would probably fail the Fury buff on Mojo. But that didn't happen twice, and because of that, Finn got a massive damage boost when he threw his special 2s with 5 degens, and also he managed to enter anti-life field every single time he needed to when the node was about to trigger the armor up. So instead of lasting 30 seconds, that armor up lasts 3 seconds, which did save him from taking a lot of damage.
Yeah,
that's why you should rank Mojo.
The Finn matchup went way better than I expected. Well played by Finn, and I do think there was some RNG, but as we've seen in these tournaments, RNG plays a role in every match, so that's just how it is. But that was well played on his part too. That went way better than I thought it would. So
he was very aware of what was going on, and he played into his favor there. Yeah.
2-1. I think we got a match here. 3-0. I would have been a little worried. Not worried, but I would have been thinking, okay, that's tough to come back. But I think right now, Finn has kind of thrown the counter punch, let's say, and I'm excited to see these next two. I think we're gonna. This one's got. I feel like they've been filling each other out. I'm not predicting 7 here, but I don't think where this is going to end in 5.
It's definitely. I doubt it's going to end in 5. Honestly, if it was just. If I were to guess, I would say at least 6.
Yeah.
Because it's not often you see Finn lose by more than 3 rounds, or you see say more than 3. It's not often you see Finn lose at more than 2.
And you can see this is what we talked about too in the Legacy versus BMcG matchup last night. Is when you watch them this way, you can kind of get a sense for when they're done feeling it out, and you can see how quickly they're now going to their bands. Feels like they feel comfortable with each other's decks, how it's going to go. They're moving a little more quickly now. I expect that pace to continue.
Yeah, especially after 3 matches.
Yeah.
I feel like you can get a good judgment of what your opponent's going to do. If you are paying attention, that is. So, say if you know who they have, who they commonly draft, you've got to watch pretty much everything they do and kind of predict them in a way. So, say, I'll use this as an example. I've faced Legacy in 2 tournament matches now, and I know that if I leave Korg open, if Korg comes up, he will pick Korg. And it's the same with Hulkling and Gallon. If they come up, a good 90% of the time, he will pick them. So I think that you can kind of get a bit of a judgment on how to base your draft based on who they like using.
Absolutely.
If that makes sense.
I'm happy selfishly to see Black Cat. I like watching her in Finn's hands. I want to see that. So I'm hoping Mike places someone that causes Finn to use her. And then I saw that Red Goblin come up for Michael, and I was really hoping he would pick him so we could see it, but he went a different direction. And then you get this Gallon here in the final draft.
Mm.
And
yeah, as much as I love Red Goblin, I don't think he's fast enough for this meta.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see him. Don't get me wrong, but I do think he'd still be too slow just because of the initial ramp.
Do you think Finn's planning on using Wiccan as a defender there? I'm looking at his draft, and it looks great as far as attackers are concerned.
Maybe. If Mike throws down not Wiccan.
Hulkling.
Mike throws down Korg, I think he might use Wiccan there. I know he has Gallon, but he might want to save his Gallon for somebody else. Yeah, I do like Finn's draft a lot more here. And again, this is what I mean. Mike doesn't really have a counter for Rintra. And then if he does use the best counter for Rintra that he has. Wait.
That looks like an...
I almost called that. He was about to use Wiccan.
Yeah.
Yeah, then he thought again. I think he was maybe thinking about another Mystic for defense. Yeah.
He wanted to save his Wiccan for attack, maybe, or for defense.
I think he just doesn't have many defenders. Obviously, he knows his deck and the strategy very well, so I'm not questioning that. I'm just more, me personally looking at it, I think he almost needs Wiccan later, potentially.
Not really.
No.
Because I feel like Mike doesn't have defenders.
Also true. I want to see this here.
And that's it. Yeah, he has Korg, so I just because of how good Finn's draft's been, I think Finn wins this one already.
He made a slight mistake there. I don't think he had enough of the shapeshift charges to get unblockable there when he threw the special 2 into the block.
Yeah. Also, sorry if I interrupted you there, Vega.
That's okay.
I'm sure if you're about to say something.
Oh, no, we're all good. Mike made a little mistake there, but he seems to recover. The thing is just getting that damage going. He does have the disorient up on Rintra, but Finn's handling that Korg real nicely up there.
Yeah, and we're over a minute in now, and Mike has done less than 10% health.
Yeah.
And also Finn does have more health. So it's either Mike was throwing this one strategically, trying to either bait his Gallon or his Wiccan, and Finn just didn't take it because he knew he had the better matchup regardless of who he used. And then he also saves his Gallon for a later round. And correct me if I'm wrong, I can't remember seeing Gallon in Mike's deck. So automatically, winning this, Finn has a massive advantage.
And even with a couple mistakes, like a couple special 2s into block, the regen and the fact that Korg doesn't hit that hard on his basic hits, I mean, the damage was barely noticeable, and he was very conscious of using light attacks in every way possible to avoid the thorns. So very well played. And then, yeah, the timeout is expected with Massacre there.
Yeah, Finn's good at light intercepts, even when it's not a backdraft light intercept. which is something that is very useful, especially against KOG, which means that you can use matchups that aren't really essential and make them essential. But the main way to do that is literally just by having a really quick reaction time. Or trying to predict them.
And being a Tigra player, that reaction time is part of that too, obviously.
Oh yeah. This quite surprised me. I think Finn's throwing this round.
Yeah, with the Warlock placement? I
completely understand why Finn kept Wickham, because Mike has Hulkling.
Yeah.
And if he threw Hulkling on defense, his only counters Gallon. I think Finn throws this round.
But it almost looks like a foregone conclusion for the third one, if I'm reading their decks right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even with this, there's potential for Finn to win. And this is a throw round. Because if Finn wanted to win this round, he would not have placed Warlock. And he had a counter for everybody that Mike had. So yeah, from the very start, Finn pretty much automatically had the draft.
Archangel just slowed down a little bit, but he had a pretty fast start.
Yeah.
He forgot about the Lucky, where the debuffs are a little bit shorter. So when you have Limber and Lucky up, Domino's going to shrug that before you can heavy. It's a common mistake I've made.
And Mike should finish this off right here, going unblockable. Yeah, I see someone commenting on the bans. Trust me, the bans hurt them both pretty badly.
Mike is actually a really good Tigra player too. So, I mean, obviously Fintech is known for it, but Mike can totally handle himself with Tigra. So that definitely thins out his deck.
Yeah.
Also, there is a rank advantage for Finn.
With Fintech's being a rank 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it was a head-to-head Tigra versus Tigra, then the rank 5 wins. But you never know.
I still think Mike might have banned Tigra if she was still open.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Black Hat is on defense.
I feel like we saw that in one of the previous Fintech rounds. But it is Gallon on offense, so I mean, but it is also a Mystic, so he won't ramp as fast.
Yeah, this actually came up last night, and I see B pointing that out. This is a smart defensive play by Mike. I want to see how it turns out.
Yeah, it literally just slows Gallon down, and in the meantime, Mike could potentially keep up, but I still can't see it really. Like, I still think Gallon has this.
I think we're going to find out in the next 5 seconds.
Yeah. So Finn heavy attacks here, enters Harvest.
With the Striker, nice. That should do it.
Let's see. Here it is.
And it's over.
Yeah.
This is going to be very close as well.
Pretty darn close.
Yeah, that was impressive from Mike.
That was really impressive.
Yeah.
You know what? There's a lot going on there, and I think Mike's performance was it was great. Is how does Finn come out with 100% health? That's what I'm...
The regen. The regen, and also Juggernaut doesn't do a lot of block damage at all.
Yeah, you're right about the regen. That's because I was like, you know what? Gallon's going to lose some health here. But you're right, the regen. Thank you very much. Well played by both these guys. Looks like Ghost Dog with the regen there. Yeah,
perfectly played Null matchup. And I mean, generally speaking, getting Null right in this meta is harder than getting Gallon right. So yeah, pretty awesome job by Mike there. And yeah. So now it's 2-2.
Yeah, I thought we were going to see a ban change there. There looked like a slight hesitation, but nope. He's thinking about it. You can see Mike is. This is what. These are the kinds of little things I enjoy watching. He's thinking about this. He put them all down, but he's Yeah, and he's going to stick with them. Okay. I want to see this Thor. Selfishly, I want Thor. I don't know if it's a smart call or a good idea, but that's what I want to see.
So do I, to be fair.
Yeah.
I've been tempted to sig and rank up my Thor, but then I realised how many champs I actually wanted to sig and rank up, and he wasn't really a priority.
Yep. Same here.
As sad as it is. Like I've got a rank 4 Joe Fixit, and I want to sig him up, but then that's 2 weeks worth of 6 stones from the Battleground store. And then there's also another 3 champs after that.
Wait, hold on a second. Alberto, if you could explain what you mean by he changed the Tiger ban, I'd appreciate it. You might be referring to something else in the chat, but if you saw a tiger in here, I'd like to know, please. Thank you.
He changed the Tiger ban.
Okay, all right. All good. No worries. Okay, I just want to make sure, because they're not supposed to have Tiger in their decks at all. So if I had seen that, I would have to just cancel this whole thing and we would blame Alberto. Just kidding. Totally having fun. Don't worry about it, but let's have fun.
No, we can blame Alberto. We can blame him.
Yeah, that's usually a good idea, right? No, just kidding.
All right, back to it. We got a best of 3 now. We got a best of 3. This is a show. I love it.
Yeah. So in sports, you often talk about momentum, and with Fintech taking 2 in a row, obviously if such a thing exists, he has a little bit of momentum here. So this would definitely be a good one for Mike to just get a little bit of ground back and see what he can do to win this round.
Oh yeah, it's all confidence when you know that you've got a couple behind your back, because I feel like Finn has Mike figured out now. It doesn't take Finn long to figure someone out, and if he's gone down 2 rounds, then he will have figured Mike out by now. Mike did have the first 2 rounds, and what I usually go by is if I've got a couple of rounds behind my back, my confidence skyrockets, because I still know that I have at least a little bit of room for error if things do go wrong. But then also when it does come to situations like, oh, I need to win this round, I know in the back of my mind, I know I can definitely do this because I've done it before. Okay, looking at this draft, I like Mike's draft a little bit more. Yeah, I do like Mike's draft a bit more, but this still definitely could go either way.
I'm excited to see this, see MCoC in action. I was looking to see if Mike would go back to it. He looks like he picked him. Immediate placement on defense. I want to see this Hulkling versus thing. I personally don't enjoy that matchup. Doesn't mean Mike won't make it look beautiful. Basically, you're just managing the rock stacks and hoping you don't trigger protection too much.
Yeah, I don't like this matchup because with the buffs that Hulkling gains, he gains extra attack, which means that he will be triggering rock stacks, not rock stacks. He'll be triggering protection more often than not.
Yeah.
Although that time, if you noticed, he didn't throw an unblockable special 2, and the 1 Fury did not trigger protection. So maybe that's the strat.
Yeah, I think Finn's definitely practiced this just in case it comes up.
Yeah,
I think he might be waiting for some of his buffs to fall off as well. You see, it did trigger that time. I think he had too many buffs on him.
Yeah, once you get a few aptitudes as well, it's going to happen. And, Doom versus MCoC is pretty common, in Alliance War and whatnot. It's a pretty safe fight.
And Finn's already done.
Yeah.
Nicely done,
and
Finn.
Mike took a hit there, got pushed to a special 3. He needs to be really careful here. But he's lost anyway.
And that's basically means Hulkling is out now. On a matchup that he had a pretty big disadvantage on, and now he doesn't have his Hulkling.
Either way, whoever wins this one, we're getting a rematch. We could see a Fintech versus Legacy rematch in the finals, and I believe Mike and Lags actually faced in the group stage of this tournament, and Mike came out the victor in that. So
yeah, and they also faced in the qualifying in the last one.
That's right, they did. That's right. Thank you. So, chance for revenge for both of these guys.
I know Mike lost that one, but I still do think that he has the advantage here.
In this fifth set?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
I still like the draft that Mike has more. Ha. I've just seen Ghost Dog's comment. Just because me and IP are both British, it sounds we both sound pretty similar.
Well, you know how us Americans are. We're like, they don't talk like me. They must just all be English.
To be fair, when we're not that far away from each other, me and IP have actually met up before. Oh, really? Yeah, we don't live that far away from each other. Okay, so I think Finn's throwing this round. Finn has to be throwing this round and baiting. It'll have to be baiting Archangel. I don't think Mike really has another option. Unless he were to play someone like Warlock. But I think he might be saving Warlock for round 3 for defense.
I think you're right.
Which is a smart move on Mike's part. A very smart move on Mike's part.
Yeah, remember I was talking about how I felt the pace was picking up a little bit. It slowed right back down because I feel like this became a bit more of that chess match, which is great. So, I love it. It's just I think it's kind of what you guys are saying. There's a lot of having to make sure they play their deck right. What were you saying, Campo?
I was going to say this is a strategy I've been using with Archangel versus Domino as well, which is you get a couple bleeds, and then before you heavy again, you want to get at least 2 or 3 poisons. So he did a few parry back off, so that he got a couple poisons. It just means your chances of more neurotoxins for the longevity of the fight are going to be better. And that's probably going to play into the win for him here.
It's a really smart strategy because, I mean, with her crit damage and how many potential things Archangel has, you're seeing this. He's played it well, and he's at 33% health.
Yeah, it's still ugly.
For that strategy, I don't necessarily like doing it more than twice because the poison could just expire, and that means you're losing a lot of damage and also taking a bit more time building up.
You know, we're talking about this. If this does big damage, sorry to interrupt you, but I wanted to point out, if that SB2 did enough damage, and I think it may have, I don't think this is over.
It's definitely not over.
I think Sasquatch is about to win this. I think Finn and Sassy are about to win.
Yeah,
that was immense.
Yeah. And this is why you don't underrate Sasquatch as an attacker. You can see that kind of surprised Mike a little bit. That is one reason I did want to rank 4 my Sasquatch. It wasn't for defense, it was for attack.
Yep. Stagger is as easy as possible. It's as easy as Juggernaut. And then once you get cranking and you throw some special 2s, we didn't even see a lot of special 2 crits.
And he was in Wrath, right? So he got...
That's true. Yeah, the crits don't matter.
But he was in Wrath, so therefore the specials didn't cost as much, which is why he was able to throw them in succession. It almost looked like he had power back on.
Yeah, also those ruptures were guaranteed on the mediums.
Yep.
That does give a massive advantage on damage, and also he has the extra combat power.
So the amount of damage of the special 2 is based on the ruptures, correct? Is that how that works?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. It's been a minute since I've thought about him offensively, so just double checking.
Yeah. As well, I think I was talking about this when the betas were around. I think I used Sasquatch quite a lot. I think I was sharing it in the server. But he is definitely an underrated attacker. He's capable of a lot more than a lot of people think, especially since there's only one Rupture immune champion in the game.
Mike's thinking this through.
Yeah, I don't blame him, honestly. This is a must-win situation for him.
Yeah.
So he goes with the same bands. And instantly gets Gallon. And both instantly gets Gallon. That's going to be pretty huge.
Yeah.
And Finn also gets Hulkling. Yeah, this is going to be a very close match.
So if I'm Mike, I'm looking for every possible Mystic Defender I have. But that also closes out, other avenues to finding win conditions here.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
So if I were Mike here, I'd probably pick Archangel. As well as Doom.
Mm-hmm. Then you have like three. Well, I guess
Falcon. Okay.
Falcon, yeah. I guess for Thing, if Thing ends up on defense again.
Maybe, but then he could also use Gallon for that.
That's true. That's just as easy.
Oh, and Finn got Domino. I feel like Mike has to pick Nimrod here as much as he may want to pick Hulkling or Domino. Can I just say, this is a stacked 4 pick.
That's what I was just
thinking. He has to choose between the best of 4 champions, and that's not really going to be easy.
No.
That's tough.
Whereas if that had been his 5 to pick from his first draft, it would have been much easier, right? But now he's got to account for what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got to use one of the big cosmics for Domino. So he'll have to make that
or
decision.
He picks Nimrod here.
He's got that Nimrod that's now shown up. But I could see why he skipped Nimrod earlier. Max?
He might pick Magneto. Yeah, because he doesn't have a counter to Mojo aside from Falcon. This is going to be interesting because with the draft, I favor Finn.
Yeah.
But I can see this going either way.
The reason I favor Finn is purely based on it felt like Mike was having to be more reactive to what Finn had. Does that make you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Finn drafted pretty much perfectly there to force Mike's picks. Both have Gallon, both have Hulkling, but one has a Rintra and one doesn't.
And here's the Black Cat
he's
on
gonna
offense.
Have to use, I think Mike's going to have to use Magneto here.
All right.
Or he risks screwing this up big with Gallon.
If
Falcon,
we're getting to see Black Cat on offense, and if this goes to the 7th set, then I'm happy. I've gotten everything I could have possibly wanted.
With Black Cat, there is some risk because as you're building to the special 2, you're only depending on somewhat defensive ability accuracy kicking in based off of her combo. I think it only goes up to like 40 or 60 max.
Yeah.
And then you need that sabotage to bring it home. So any of these hits can lead to a power burn or they can lead to an ability failing. And we just don't know. And that's always the risk. But if she gets to that special 2, it's over quick.
Yeah. To
Falcon's doing a good job.
It's very easy to build up combo against Rintra as well because he's very easy to heavy counter on both his heavy and his specials. Or if you know the trick that I usually use with Rintra where you can dash in and then close decks his special 2. I don't see many people doing it, but it's just a way that you can punish his specials 2 instead of being halfway across the map.
Well, every time I see that, I always think I should practice that.
It is definitely worth having. Finn's doing it right here.
I feel like they're both facing a pretty annoying AIs, though. I mean, Finn's doing a great job, don't get me wrong, but the Rintra I don't feel like is helping him out, and this Mojo isn't doing Mike any favors either. And I mean that just by like, yeah.
Yeah, I think Mike definitely has this one.
Yeah. Well, health. Let's see.
Even with health, I don't think Finn's going to do this fast enough.
No. There it is.
Oh my lord!
Wow.
Never mind.
I can't see the score, but it's 300 points. Less than 300
points.
Yeah. Wow, that's unbelievable.
Wow. It's like 250.
I fully thought that Mike had that on time because he finished a good 10 to 15 seconds faster. But I do think Finn is in a very good position here now to win this.
Oh, absolutely. I think Mike.
I mean, he has Gallon, so I mean, it's just sort of when am I going to use Gallon? And
he has Gallon on Hulkling. If he throws this round, which Finn will do, if he doesn't use his Gallon here, then I think he wins.
That's the second time Finn's done that to Mike. It's just showing you how razor thin these margins are. And he's not doing it to Mike, but and Mike thinks
now
he's
Finn's
won.
going to use his Gallon. I think.
I think he has to.
Yeah, I think Finn will use Gallon here.
There it is.
And I think this will be a lot faster. He just needs to not get hit by a special 2, and he wins this.
Doing the medium light mediums on top because the power burn doesn't affect against mystics, so not full combos.
Yeah, it's just to build up his mass faster, which is a smart thing to do.
Yeah,
because the armors will still come naturally by the time he builds up to his specials far enough.
What a beautiful full decks of
beautiful special 2 decks.
Yeah, the full decks. They both do it.
Yeah, that's nice to see.
Yep, special 1. One special. Just one special 1.
All right, he has to bait another one, though.
Special 2 here.
He's going for it. He's going for the kill.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Okay.
He's going for the kill.
Smart.
Is it enough? It's enough.
It is enough, and he wins. Yep.
That was a calculated risk.
It was. There was a couple moments in there where when Doom got to the special 3, I got a little bit worried that Doom was going to throw it, but Finn did a nice job of controlling that all.
If that special 1 didn't kill, or not the special 1, if that special 1 didn't kill, then Mike has this one.
Yeah, because the bleeds will kill Doom right there.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
And that is 4-2 to Finn. Yeah, he both players played very well. Like I could have, even though Finn won 4 in a row, I could have definitely seen any of those going either way, apart from the one where Finn got insanely lucky with his draft.
Unbelievable.
A good 3 out of 4 of those, either player could have won. Very well played to both of these guys.
Exceptionally well played to both of them. Everybody, Mike, you did show up. Hey, buddy, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I am doing well. Well played, my friend. There's like 2 losses there by less than 200 points, I think.
Yeah, give or take.
What are you gonna do? You know. TJ and Campo, you have any questions for Mike? Mike, I didn't know if you were going to be joining us, so I really appreciate you doing that.
Yeah, no worries, buddy.
I've got a question. First off, GG's, Mike. You played very well there.
Thank you, bud.
One thing I was kind of curious about, I know what your reaction to this is going to be, but I was quite surprised that you banned Killmonger there.
Yes.
Why exactly did you do that? Because what I was thinking originally was that this meta kind of draws armor break champs in. And if you have a lot of those, then that kind of makes Killmonger a less dominant defender than what he usually is. Plus, Finn's is a basic rank 3.
Mm-hmm. So when it came to his deck, there wasn't much I was too concerned with. When it comes to the armor break champions, I'm looking at my deck right now, and I have more so mystics in regard as opposed to armor break champions, you know. So when it comes to Killmonger, he just is, you know, a bit of a jerk sometimes. He's got the reverb, he's got the unstoppable after the special 1. Obviously, you know how Killmonger works, right?
Yeah.
So he's got a lot going on. So when it came to the bans, you know, if like for example, he banned my Duck, which was obviously a great ban on him. He banned my Spidey, which I appreciate the respect there for banning Spidey, and he banned my Crossbows. 3 really good bans, but any bans that I would have done, like, you know, elsewise for like a lot of his champions that he was using often, those are champions I have in my deck as well. So I try to avoid that. Where, you know, I mean I have a Nick Fury, right? But I ban Nick Fury every single time. He just makes things go on longer, and he has 2 lives, and then he does block damage in the second half. So I try to keep those champions out of my deck and just ban them. That's usually my strat there when it comes to that. So Killmonger is just someone I just tend to not enjoy fighting.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I did think about as well. I think I mentioned it while you guys were playing, that it kind of shifted from the start, where it was armor break heavy, to purely nullify, which may have been a reason that you did end up going with that ban, because you didn't have many armor break champs in your deck.
Yeah, for sure. Like I have like OG Thor, but it's like, I prefer not to pick an OG Thor in case I see that Killmonger. It becomes like one of those things.
Yeah, it was more just I didn't fully see your deck. I thought you may have had more armor break champs than you did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, Mike, yeah, I appreciate you coming on and doing this. There was one thing I had written down was, but I'm having trouble reading my own notes here. But I'm having why Doom versus Simsup and not Gallon. Guys, do you remember what exactly this was? I think Mike maybe placed a Simsup.
Oh yeah, you used Doom against Sim Supreme aside from Gallon.
Yeah.
I think after you got about halfway through the match, I realized why you did that.
Yes.
Just to play it completely safe.
100%.
But I do know that Gallon does work for that, because I've seen B McG do it.
Yeah. I see. The thing is, I know that Gallon gets a little messed up by staggers.
Yeah.
So Doom doesn't. I mean, he can, but as long as you just the thing with Gallon, it's like here's the first thing. First things first. I don't really enjoy using Gallon much against Mystics in this meta. Like, can he work? Absolutely. Do I use him against Man-Thing? Yes. But when I have the choice between Doom or Gallon for Sim Supreme, I'm usually going to go Doom and just go with my heavies and, get to the special 3 once and then just do a lot of damage, as opposed to trying to dance around the staggers. Because if, let's say, like I go for the special 1 and right before I throw it, the stagger from his Sig ability pops on me. I don't know what Sig his Sim Supreme is, so I can't really predict when that's going to happen. That would be devastating. That would be a lot of damage, and that could end up possibly losing the match, when I was pretty confident I would finish the fight at or close to 100% health using Doom. So I just went for the safer play there, especially because I had Nimrod on defense as well.
Yeah,
so
I was thinking that as well.
Yeah, he was going to take damage, and I knew I wasn't going to take damage, or besides some block damage with Doom. So even if it may have taken 10 seconds later, 10 seconds more with Doom, I just figured that he wasn't going to be killing my Nimrod faster regardless, and it's going to be taking damage. So I'll go with Doom.
Yeah, I originally was quite surprised, but then I realized what you were doing, and also having faith in your defender, since he didn't have an amazing matchup.
Mm-hmm.
And B's also just said as well in chat that it's 50-50 shot that Sim goes red with Gallon.
Yeah, so, exactly.
Yeah,
so that's one thing. Is like there are lots of there are just a lot of factors using Gallon versus a Mystic. Obviously, he's nullifying immune and everything, but Mystic Dispersion is one of those factors. So let's say I went for Harvest or Special 1, right, and it didn't kill him. All those buffs are going to fall off. He can go to Special 3 and then just end the fight. I've seen it happen so many times.
Yeah.
Mike, so you obviously our friends, we DM and stuff like that, but I just want to take a moment and just say how much I appreciate you being part of this. You're part of why the tournament's doing so well, and I appreciate everything you bring to it.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
I was wondering if there's anything I could do to incentivize you, to convince you to rank up 3 stars.
Well, Vega, what you could do is you could take that poster with the 3 stars on it, and you can add 3 more stars onto the 3 stars.
To be fair, I was in the same situation. I had next to no 3 stars ranked up.
I think my best 3-star right now is like a 3-star Ronin, and that's a Ronin with an A.
Oh well, no one would see it coming. In all seriousness,
I have some, but I mean,
you'd throw a lot of people off with that.
Is unfortunately this was a lunch break stream for me. So as much as I would love to sit and talk, I do have to get going. I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the financial sponsor of the whole tournament, Usafa Gaming. Katie Candy for being an absolute fantastic Grandmaster, Moose, the trophy maker, to Finn and Mike, of course, themselves, to my co-hosts TJ and Campo. You guys were phenomenal. Well played, Finn. You're going to get a chance for revenge against Legacy. And then let's go ahead and take this out. We'll go TJ, then Campo, and KarateMike. Dude, you're awesome. Thank you so much for everything you do.
Dude, thank you, buddy.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, Vega. It's been a pleasure being a part of this tournament and also commentating this match. Mike, very well played again. Sorry that you lost, but you did put on a very good show.
Thank you.
You did put on a very good show. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed and have a good one.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Mike, really well played. I'm really glad to see we got to see Miguel for one match and he won it. That was awesome. Made my day. I'm a huge Spidey fan myself. So yeah, good stuff. And congratulations on a really well played tournament. And thanks to Vega.
All right. Then once again, I've said it so many times, but thank you so much to Vega for having me in the tournament. And a huge shout out to Vega for putting this tournament on. It's one of the best things going on in the community right now. So if you aren't following Vega, stop being an idiot. Just stop being an idiot and go follow Vega because it's so silly. He puts on a great tournament. The finals are next week. You have two amazing players. You have Fintech and you have Legacy, right? Two very great guys, very great players. And maybe if Vega's lucky, I don't know. Maybe me and Brendan will consider doing like a runners-up match that he can commentate on. Maybe. I don't know. I just thought of that right now. If he's interested in that, so who knows? But that's gonna be it for this stream, guys. Thank you for watching my stream. Thank you for watching Vega's stream. Hit subscribe on both channels, or else you're an absolute silly goose. And we will be seeing you around in the next one. And make sure you stick around for the 3-star tournament that I may or may not be a part of. All right. Take it easy, guys. Thank you, Vega.
Mike. Let's talk off stream. We might be able to do a charity thing, raise some money for some good folks, and the winner of U and B could decide who the money goes to. Thank you so much, my friend. You're awesome.
All right.
Have a great one, everybody. Bye-bye.
Hello to my stream. I'm still here for a moment.